According to Wikipedia, Westbrook's three-point shooting and turnovers are often brought to attention when pundits criticize his game. He averaged 30% on three-point field goal attempts and 3.9 turnovers a game for his career. He has the worst career three-point percentage in NBA history of players who have more than 2,500 three-point attempts. He has also in the past been criticized for his single-mindedness and for being difficult to cooperate with. Sadly, this is the Russell Westbrook most people know, along with the fact that Russ is probably the most athletic point guard in NBA history and that he plays with much energy and intensity. However, this is nothing but a minute part of Russell Westbrook's story. While Westbrook was a benefit of narratives when he won the MVP award in 2017 for averaging a triple-double through the entire season, for the most part of his illustrious NBA career, Russ has not been favored by narratives. Someone once said, "If you don't understand the power of storytelling, remember Money Heist had you rooting for bank robbers." This is a true statement. Storytelling is a powerful weapon in the right hands. Through storytelling, narratives are created, and the NBA, whether you like it or not, is a league of stats and narratives. Truth be told, Westbrook's style of play, attitude, and overall vibe have also contributed to the heat he receives from the fans and the media. So this isn't me saying the stats lie, but hearing his story could help you understand why he is who he is and maybe compel you to change your views on him. While doing the research for this video, I stumbled on this article by a guy called Chris Palmer at Bleacher Report, who gave a detailed breakdown of Westbrook's basketball journey from his early teens to UCLA. Russ was born in California and brought up as a Compton native in a family made up of himself, his dad, his mom, and his younger brother. Russ did not have so much growing up, but he had dreams of becoming an athlete, together with his brother Brainerd and best friend Kelsey Baz, including a desire to play college ball in UCLA with Kelsey. But things took a turn when sadly Baz passed away in 2004 from a heart disease before they made it to UCLA. According to Westbrook, at the time he was probably the best basketball player I'd ever seen. When coaches came to Lusenga High School games, they were there to see Baz. The passing of Baz served as a catalyst for Russ to work harder in honor of his best friend's memory. And up until this day, Russ wears a handband and sometimes shoes with KB3 written on them in honor of Baz. In his early years, Westbrook was trained by his father, who in a bid to protect his children was keen on keeping Russ and his brother away from the streets, even going as far as changing Westbrook's high school at a point. His dad would often put him through intense drills such as push-ups, endless sprints, agility drills, and sit-ups, teaching him that he had to work for everything he was ever going to get. During these workouts, his dad would often say to him, outwork them all." Because of Russ's small size, he was often overlooked and doubted, but his father helped Russ to build a tough mind and taught him to convert all that pain and frustration of being overlooked into fuel for his ambition to be the best. Russ learned from an early age that through hard work and determination, he could achieve whatever he wanted and eventually get to experience a better life. This has been a major guiding principle of his life. But as determined as Russ was, even he did not believe he could make the NBA. He probably dreamt of a college scholarship to get him through school and find a life after that. Even as a high school player, Russ wasn't a highly prized recruit, but one thing he had going for him, which he still has going for him today, is that Russ is always in. This was evident when UCLA's head basketball coach saw him for the first time. He said, "My first introduction to Russell Westbrook was as a leader. It was pretty impressive." But that wasn't all. After watching Westbrook shoot 2 air balls, make poor decisions, get frustrated, and force actions in a high school tournament game against Westchester, an assistant coach of the UCLA team said, "This kid can play," which seems like an odd comment after a not so good performance, but he saw something. He saw a kid who played with raw passion. In his words, his motto, intensity, and competitiveness affected nearly every play of the game. His length and speed allowed him to dominate defensively. Most of his errors came when he tried to get others involved. His rotation, lift, and release on his jump shots were better than expected. He dove on the floor. You don't judge a kid on a bad game. UCLA eventually got to sign Westbrook to a college scholarship after he had a growth spurt from 5'8" to 6'3" in the summer before his senior year. The increase in height helped Westbrook to average 25 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 assists in his senior year at high school. Westbrook only stayed in UCLA for 2 years before declaring for the NBA draft in 2008, and the rest, as they say, is history. Remember when I said Russ learned from an early age to work hard and be determined? This is an attitude that has affected Westbrook off the court as well as on it. Playing hard and with much intensity is how Russ understands to work hard and leave it all out on the court. And while it has led to him having the highest turnover rate in basketball, you can't deny that Russ has results. We all know he's a triple-double king, averaging a triple-double in 4 seasons. He's also the first player to lead the NBA in scoring and assists over multiple seasons. The man couldn't even dunk until he was 17. Can you believe it? Russ, the player who has some of the most electrifying dunks, couldn't dunk till his senior year in high school. This was something he worked hard at learning. You can almost never see Russ in a game look like he's gassed or has given up, because up until the clock runs out, he's locked in. This attitude is the reason behind his mantra, "Why not?" According to Russ, this question came as a result of a game he and his friends would play to challenge each other to do something, and this helped him build some confidence in going for whatever he wanted to achieve, and eventually led him to starting the Russell Westbrook Why Not Foundation. Russ is very much aware of where he is coming from and the obstacles that young people everywhere can have growing up in such environments. So he started a foundation to reach underdeveloped communities and instill people with the values he had growing up, inspiring them that, like him, they can go for whatever they want to achieve in life regardless of what other people may think, and also helping them reach those goals. His foundation is primarily focused on impacting people through education, workforce development, and mental health. For Westbrook, this is one of the ways to give back to society and make the world a better place. There's also the fact that I personally find it disrespectful that people would choose to call him Russell Westbrook. Russ is a father of 2, and his wife had once complained about being harassed, name-called, and even receiving death threats just because he played poorly in games. While there's a place for criticism, this is borderline unacceptable, and I think we as the fans should do better. Finally, I'd like to say the narrative of Russ being a turnover machine and a bricklayer is often over-exaggerated and used as a weapon against him. But in comparison to other greats, the narrative holds no water when put under the spotlight and free from bias. For sure, Westbrook averages 4 turnovers a game, but players such as Magic, LeBron, Isaiah Thomas, and AI have averages of more than 3.5 turnovers per game. And among the players who made the NBA's official top 75 team, Russ shoots almost as well from the field and better than some players such as Jason Kidd, Allen Iverson, Elgin Baylor, Damian Lillard, Bill Russell, and just 1% lower than other greats like James Harden and Kobe Bryant. When it comes to usage rate, Russ is number 5 all time, behind Luka, Embiid, MJ, and Trae Young. He also has similar numbers to Kobe, Allen Iverson, Donovan Mitchell, and LeBron. But people don't usually use any of these players' field goal percentage, turnover, or usage rates to bring them down as much as they do Russ. Like every other player, Westbrook has his flaws that I think he should definitely improve on. He's a point guard who has a poor jump shooting form, and his intensity when playing causes him to be careless with the ball more than most players. But outside of his time on the Lakers, which didn't yield as much fruit as he expected, every other team Russ has been on made the playoffs. And if you think that had nothing to do with him, try to find out where the Thunder and the Wizards went without him. After leaving the Thunder, they've never made the playoffs, but OKC is currently rebuilding, and I believe with all the pieces they have, they can win the NBA championship within the next 5 years. I made a video explaining how they could make this a possibility. Check it out. So if you enjoyed this video, kindly like, subscribe, but most importantly leave a comment down below and click on any of these cards on the right to watch other videos I think you would find interesting.